Hi everyone, Alastair Stevens here with the third part of my Crusader Kings 2 long play, A Highland Fling. We pick up right from the end of episode 2, wherein our hero, Duke Jamie of Moray, has consolidated his hold on the Scottish Highlands by taking Caithness back from the Norwegians, or at least by making the resident Norwegian a vassal. We closed out last week by marrying a new bride, by grabbing Caithness, and of course by helping to defeat the upstart Scottish rebellion. Unfortunately, in the dying moments of the last episode, a new war broke out with King Alfred of England. This de jure war over Cumberland, a county about which I care not, but let me tell you, this has opened Duke Jamie's eyes. The enormity of this army, the stories of their depredations and evil has spread far and wide. And Jamie is having a thought. Because he looks around, he remembers all too clearly the recent Scottish rebellion. And he looks at his country, his homeland, and he sees a fractious mess. It is going to take a strong man to lead this country through the coming time of war and to emerge victorious. And to do that, well, he has to do a little house cleaning. Right now, Jamie holds 3 titles. He is the Duke of Moray, which is the entire 4-county duchy of Buchan, Moray, Ross, and Caithness. He is also personally the Earl of Moray and the Earl of Ross. So in those 2 regions, his vassals are the mayors of the towns and the bishops of the cathedrals, rather than being earls in their own right. Now, that is a powerful position because he doesn't have any vassals who could possibly rise up to threaten him. A mayor or a bishop can never raise an army big enough to challenge to challenge an earl, let alone a duke. But he's looking at Buchan, which is currently led by the 6-year-old Earl Gilroy, or rather his regent Andrew the Spymaster of Buchan. And he doesn't feel good about this valuable county being in the hands of an untested boy. Moreover, he looks to the north, and he doesn't feel at all good about Caithness being in the hands of Earl Erland. So it is time to clean house. He is going to act in a tyrannical fashion. He is going to brook no disagreement and no argument. He is going to revoke those titles and claim them for himself. And he's going to do it without any of the finer graces you might expect. So we're going to begin with Buchan. And we are going, quite simply, to revoke Earl Gilroy's title. Now, the revocation of a title is not a thing to be done lightly because, as you can see here, it costs us prestige. Well, that's not a problem. Duke Jamie has an abundance of prestige. It will lower Earl Gilroy's opinion by -80 and other vassals by -20 because we will be seen as tyrannical. Moreover, we can see here that Earl Gilroy simply will not agree to have his title peaceably revoked. However, this is one of those times where we don't really need him to agree. We're going to send a missive. And when he responds, we will put our army in the field, and we will claim Buchan again, as we did before. To the vile clown Jamie, tales of your misdeeds are told from Ireland to Cathay. I will not allow you to steal my titles without a fight. You are no longer my liege lord. Well, that's cute and all. But I have a bigger army. And that bigger army knows where you live. So we are going to... Oh, he's marshalling ships again. He did this the last time. Oh my god, he really is doing this again. There he is, disembarking up here in the north. I'm going to combine my armies and march off to deal with him. Going to take apart his army and then go ravage Buchan. Of course, we're still fighting this war against Alfred, and we have raiders, Viking raiders, coming ashore down there in Gowrie. Or down in Fife, I guess, actually. There we are. Victory at the Battle of Donnoch. We're taking Gillespie's army, who are now fleeing to Ross. We're going to pursue and finish them off. We're going to put those men to the sword. This is when Crusader Kings goes just a little Game of Thrones. This is the end of diplomacy. or at least the desire, the necessity of conducting diplomacy in a different means. So we'll now besiege. We have this tiny army up here in Caithness, but we needn't worry about them. Oh, we have a weak claim on Duberth in Wales, thanks to my new queen Nest. So we'll keep track of that. Oh, the other thing that we should look at, just in case something terrible should happen. Well, I guess we're not ready yet. Oh, I can't change my succession laws because I'm at war. Well, alright, we'll take care of that when the war is over. Speed up time just a little bit. These sieges take a long, long time. Here we're sieging Ellen. And when this is done, we will turn our attention to Caithness. And when that is over, we will have a certain strain, because right now we can only hold 3 titles, and we'll be holding 4 concurrently. But the important thing is that our power base will be very, very strong. Oh no! Malpader, my somewhat incompetent steward, is now no longer my steward. Well, that's inconvenient. Okay, this is bad. So I can appoint Erland, the Earl of Caithness, with whom I am about to conduct a war, and his score is only 8 anyway, which is really not as high as it should be. And my remaining choices have scores only of 4, which is shockingly poor. Let's take a look and see if I have in my court any eligible young ladies who may be able to... Oh, Gruach is married. That's too bad. See if I have any eligible ladies that I can marry off to try and attract some... no, she's low-born. To try and attract some new young men, but there's nothing here. This is not great at all. Well, let's conduct a quick search. See if I can't find anyone in the kingdom here. I'm looking for men. I'm looking for people who are not in prison. It doesn't matter if they're married. They're in my realm, so that should be fine. And I'm looking for high stewardship. And what I'm looking for are people who might just want to come hang out with me. Hey, you want to come join my court? Does that seem like a thing you might be interested in? Ranald in Clydesdale? Do you think you might be interested in taking your ridiculous stewardship score? You have a desire to be a steward. You want to come hang out with me? No, he has no reason to move. And he likes his current earl. Well, that's no good. It's no good at all. Who else do we have here? Trying to find someone that you can just recruit is never easy. Alpin, the steward of Fife. I want to find someone who really hates their... Nope, doesn't feel good about it at all. Fortunately, at this point, pretty much anyone is a good choice. Now, Macus, the steward of Cumberland, has an urgent desire to get married. I wonder... Although, as does Torquil, the steward of Clydesdale, he is as yet unmarried. I wonder if I could arrange a marriage to one of my courtiers that would be matrilineal. No. He is not. No, I think I only have... Yeah, I think I only have low-born females who cannot marry matrilineally. I need some noble women. I need a debutante or two. Although, what I can do... Layers and layers here. We're conducting a war right now, but don't worry. Let's spend a lot of time worrying about who's marrying whom, shall we? I can invite a debutante to my court. This will cost me 11.83 gold, but a new courtier named Ada will appear at my court. So I think let's try that. Oh, and another named Marjorie. Oh, my money is not great right now. Let's take a look at young Ada and see how good she is. There she is. Now, it says that she's a noblewoman, but I'm not 100% sure that's true. Let's find out, shall we? Look at that. No, he just won't accept, though. So we're coming along here, mostly because she's unimportant. This may be enormously challenging. Perhaps we need someone of lower rank. Someone who wants to marry. Nope. No, I think she is simply far too unimportant to persuade anyone to marry. Unless I can set this... If I can find someone of extremely low rank who won't mind marrying, Andrew, the courtier in Lothian, for example, who has a stewardship of 10, he may be persuaded. He's the steward of Scotland, which is really just sad. But, let's see there. Andrew, can I invite you to my court? You say no. Okay. Can I arrange a marriage for you with the delightful Ada? Nope. Not interested. She's far too unimportant. Well, okay then. Can I instead perhaps invite a young nobleman to court? Someone who can actually just do the job, hopefully. A steward named Lennon. A steward? A steward, you say? Alright. Let's check out this guy. Lennon de Inverness? Well, would you look at that? A perfectly serviceable stewardship score for my kingdom. Midas touched. Brave, cruel, ambitious, and paranoid. He's quite a work of art, that guy, but we are going to appoint him as our steward and set him to collect taxes in Moray. We still need to do something about both our marshal and our spy master, though she is my wife, so she's kind of got her hooks into the job anyway. So back to the war. Meanwhile, in the war... Oh, the English army is moving. The Scottish army is moving to defend. After a successful siege, we have conducted the siege of Ellen, and we are now sieging St. Macher. And we have dragged Sheena out of her hidey hole. A young woman... well, now, see, I don't feel good about holding her prisoner at all. I can... Wow, that's cold, man. He just has no interest in Sheena. He won't even pay 10 gold for Sheena. You know what, Sheena? You don't need this guy. I guess I can't release you because you hold a temporary title. What title do you hold? Sheena, what is going on in your life? What is happening in your story? This is bizarre. Perhaps I can't release her until after the war is over, but the war, let me tell you, is over. He has given up. The war against the quote-unquote tyranny of Duke Jamie of Moray has ended. Duke Jamie of Moray won. However, he is still my vassal. As you can see, he is still here. He is imprisoned, but that is not enough. Now, because he raised his hand against me, I can revoke the county of Buchan, and Gilroy Buchanan no longer holds a title, though he does still hold a weak claim on the county of Buchan itself. He is still in my dungeon. I think I may keep him there for just a little while, even though he's only 7 years old. No, you know what? That's gross. I'm going to let him go. Of course I'm going to let him go. I can banish him, or I can execute him. No, Gilroy, buddy, I'm going to let you go. I will be merciful. This is about, after all, building a stronger Scotland. Now, with that in mind, and we'll see here that I personally now hold the title of the county of Buchan, and I have picked up Gillespie, the mayor of Aberdeen, who doesn't hate me, and Alexander, the bishop of St. Macher, who also doesn't hate me, which is fairly surprising, all things considered. I can, in fact, redirect my chancellor and my court chaplain to initiate the charm offensive right there in Buchan. While I, meanwhile, allow my army to stand down. It looks as though the Scottish army has been vanquished to the south, and the English army is undertaking further depredations. We have a war score of negative 80%, which means at any moment the county of Cumberland is going to pass into English hands. That's not great. But this is why Duke Jamie must take the stand. He must do the difficult things. He must exert his natural God-given authority, particularly over the Norsemen to the north. Now, here's the thing about... oh, he's a part of this war too, I see, okay. Here is the thing about Earl Erland. I can't immediately revoke his title because I currently have a truce with him because of the recent war that we conducted against Caithness. So instead, since I can't revoke his title, I'm not legally empowered to revoke his title, I'm simply going to have to tyrannically imprison him. This is going to cost me 10 piety. It is going to lower all my subjects' views of me by 40 points. This is a fairly tyrannical move and a fairly bad idea, except that this guy is my last vassal. So this is going to, or my last vassal of any power and import. So once this is done, I can then start charming my county level vassals and win them over. Earl Erland. Well, I tried to capture him. I was unsuccessful. He has raised his flag in rebellion, and once again, I will raise my own armies and march against him. There are still brief conflicts between the English and the Scottish down here in the south. He's raised just an embarrassingly small army, honestly, all things considered. Oh, and now he's fleeing, which is probably for the best. I would say probably for the best. Well, he's marshalled here in Moray. Earl Duff of Fife has founded the Prince Malcolm for Scotland faction. So, the country is not strong. Oh, and the war has been lost. Cumberland has passed into the hands of the English. The country is not strong, but it is time for strong men to stand and unify it. Some business with the cardinals there. Oh no! Duke Jamie has fallen ill. Oh, there could be a grim karmic end to his story right now. Duff has actually raised his flag in revolt that is happening right now to the south. Wow, Earl Malmer thinks that he should be king. But in other news, Jamie's illness has faded. He has lost the trait ill. He will live to fight another day. Jamie is now 37 years old, so... Oh my god, as if this wasn't bad enough, now Athol has also rebelled against the crown. This is bad news. This is terrible bad news. Yes, this is why Jamie is taking these steps, I think, to compose himself, to consolidate his power base, and to lead Scotland into the bright, dizzying future of the 12th century. So the army of Prince Donald of the Scottish Revolt. Great. Bishop Patrick has convinced Bishop Alexander that I am awesome. Let me see here. Earl Erland is still holding troops. I'm going to march to Moray because it's one thing to be a part of the Scottish Revolt. It's another to attack my holdings, buddy. Nest is pregnant once again. A million things are happening, you guys. A million things. Battle rages in the hills of Moray, and we spank the rebel forces. We then move on to take out the troops of King Erland. Oh, and we have an invitation to join a plot from Duff MacDoob. He seeks to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Albany. Now, the Duchy of Albany is the duchy right here in the middle of Scotland. No, buddy. I don't want you to have a claim on that. Frankly, any more than I want anyone else to have a claim on that. I am declining your courteous offer. I'm then going to march my troops back to Caithness because it's not impossible that I could finalize this victory. Bishop Matthew has filled the ears of Bishop Alexander of St. Macher with lies about the Pope, so he now likes me even more. Or rather, dislikes the Pope even more. I'm sorry, I'm accidentally right-clicking there and sending my troops off, which is a huge mistake and not the kind of thing a general should do, you understand. More cardinal business. The war is still raging. Okay, so the War of Fife was successfully defeated. Earl Duff still holds Fife. Earl Malmer is doing his thing. And lo and behold, I have a new daughter. A daughter was born to Duke Jamie of Moray and Duchess Nest of Moray. Let me see. So I have already daughters named Letitia, Adelaide, who was named for her mother, Galis, and, well, fans of Outlander must have been expecting this all along. I'm sure she will be a terrible woman, but we're going to have ourselves a wee lady. Family name. Duke Jamie is possessed of a good number of daughters there. And as if things weren't happening quickly enough, now Pope Alexander II has declared the Crusade for Jerusalem. This opens up this menu up here on the top left, whereby I can commit forces to the war for Jerusalem and gain piety, political influence, all kinds of things, prestige, of course. I don't think right now that I will be taking part in this particular crusade. I think there is plenty of time for that in the future. Right, we have things happening here. We have received a peace offer. He is offering us a complete surrender. We are accepting that. The second war against the tyranny of Duke Jamie. Wow, we are chalking up a reputation here. Okay, so we're going to disband our troops. And then, we're going to go here, and we are going, in fact, to revoke the title. Now, what happens if I revoke the title? Okay. So if I revoke his title, nobody cares. Because, again, I've already taken the hit for imprisoning him or trying to imprison him in the first place. So we're going to send that. I am revoking your title to Caithness. And now we get the expected message up here that my domain is simply too big. I am holding 4 out of a maximum of 3 holdings, which means that I am being subjected to penalties on taxation, troop levies, and opinion of my vassals. But my vassals are now all of the lowest tier, bishops and mayors, every one of them. I now personally hold Buchan, Murray, Ross, Caithness, and the dukedom there too. Those are those titles that you'll see right there. So this gives me an incredibly strong base. I now no longer have to worry about internal warfare. That gives me a strong platform with which to move into the next phase of my plan to unite Scotland. Unfortunately, the next phase of my plan to unite Scotland is simply to let this revolt play itself out. I want to go and make friends with all of my vassals. I want to make sure that they know that they are appreciated, each and every one of them. Though they do not have a particularly high opinion of me right now. Yes, you can see these tyrant penalties here. These negative 40s are adding up. Even the people who like me are having a hard time with that. But it is not for me that I do this thing. It is for the good of Scotland. And someday, for the good of my son, Stephen Fraser, who is now 8 years old. And doesn't have a guardian. He hasn't been educated this whole time. So let's educate him, shall we? To whom shall we give the education of my son, my only son and heir? Well, looking at these statistics, I think we're definitely going to go for Gruach, the Princess of Scotland. She is currently at court in Forres, though I myself... Wait, why am I not on this list? Oh, is that because I am... Yes, because I'm currently in Gowrie, acting as the Chancellor of Scotland. I think perhaps I will resign from the council. That was fun for a while, but I don't think that lending my considerable skills to the king's pursuits is necessarily a good idea, and now I can take over the education of my own heir, which will give me more of these little narrative boxes that pop up. I can make some choices about his education and try to lead him down positive paths. So we'll see some of those pop up fairly soon, I am sure. And you know what? It is November. I think it is time to throw a feast. Let us hold a feast. Let us get these positive I've given the orders for a great feast to be hosted in Moray. Let the preparations begin, and all my vassals will be there. Meanwhile, let's see if I can't ransom Erland for 10 gold to the Duke of Orkney. Do I get a bonus for... I don't get any kind of opinion bonus for releasing him. So, alright, well, I'll take the 10 gold. It'll help pay for some of the festivities here. I am not particularly well off right now. Here we are. He accepts paying the ransom. That's excellent. My heart missed a beat when I saw Stephen emerge from the dungeons covered in grime with a bloody knife in his hand. What? What? What just happened? I took over the education of my 8-year-old son and saw him emerge from the dungeons with a knife. Okay, so one of these 3 things is going to happen. He is going to gain cruelty, wrath, or cravenness, I guess. Those are all negative traits. None of those are good. There's still time to bring this kid around. Let's see what happens. He gets cruel. Oh no. My heir is a monster. He's a monster. No feast is complete without boar meat. Who shall hunt for them? I think we're going to send out Hugh, our marshal, who is perfectly capable of such things. Peddlers selling all sorts of food, clothing, exotic spices, and luxuries such as glass and jewels filled the town square with their wares and shouts. Let me see here. There are a couple of things I need. Well, I think we'll go for that. It costs me a point of stewardship, but does raise my general opinion by 5, which honestly is something that I need right now. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what to spend. I'm going to spend lavishly, or... I don't really need the extra prestige effects, so let's just spend enough to satisfy everyone's hunger and save the 10 gold. I can also close that window. That's been open for quite some time. There we are. The invitations have gone out. Everyone is ready to come join me. And everyone has, in fact, joined me. Bishop Patrick, Mayor Duff, Bishop Matthew, Mayor Gillespie, Bishop Alexander, and Bishop Trond, who I believe is Norwegian. He may be the bishop in Caithness up there. Earl Duff of Fife just won't quit and has founded the Prince Donald for Scotland faction. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied, other guests excused themselves and went to bed, but we kept talking until the wee hours. I haven't ever met a more fascinating person. Mayor Gillespie of Aberdeen, is that? I believe it is. Mayor Gillespie's opinion of Duke Jamie changes by 100. Mayor Gillespie and Duke Jamie became great friends. My God, that was worth doing, right? He wants to appoint me to his council, and I am going to decline. I don't need the prestige effects of that. Gillespie, the mayor of Aberdeen, would you look at that? Friend, plus 100. Everyone needs a friend. I totally won him over. And look at this, everyone is coming around. Well, except Trond, but we'll do something about him. Now, he's a low-born Norwegian, which explains part of this trouble. I should also look, too, there's, let me see here, culturally? Yes. Interesting. Caithness is not, at the moment, culturally Scottish because of the long-held Norwegian influence. That is fascinating. Religiously, it is still Catholic, at least, but culturally, there's quite a difference there. Now, I believe that I can actually send... Is it my chaplain? No, I can change religion that way. Is there a means of changing... There may not be. There may not be a means of changing... I guess not. Yeah, no direct way of changing culture. I guess we just have to hold it for long enough. Interesting. Interesting stuff. I should also... Oh my God, Duff has revolted again. Well, this is actually good for me. Because these ongoing wars are weakening everyone involved, whereas I am actually consolidating my forces. I don't think I'm going to have any trouble mounting a direct war against the king and taking the throne. All of which, of course, is simply in the name of a safe and peaceful Scotland. Everybody likes me 10 more. That was a very successful feast. I'm glad that that happened. Let's see where we are now. Now, the king still likes me a little bit, but Duke Jamie's opinion of the king. Wow. Of the king. Our deceitful, slothful, cruel king, who owes money to Jewish moneylenders, who is beloved of none of his vassals. Yeah. Yes, I think the time may have come, in fact, to formalize this entire process and to announce the campaign for Duke Jamie for Scotland. I apparently have 365% of the forces necessary to successfully win this war. I'm not certain that I can trust that number, but okay. That seems like a very high number. I know that they've taken some beatings. Wow. Well, you know, I think at this point, Duke Jamie has to cancel his ambition to improve learning and undertake another ambition, the only one that counts, to become King of Scotland. At any cost, at any price, he will serve his country by taking the throne. He's not going to take it just yet. Let's let our troops restore. Yes, we're still almost 1,000 troops down after those last wars. So we're going to... Wow, and the crusade against Jerusalem, or the crusade... excuse me, the crusade for Jerusalem, I guess, was successful. The Serene Doge Giovanni of Pisa gained victory in the crusade for Jerusalem. Wow. So there we are. And of course, it's important to remember, this is not an abstracted game mechanic. Ooh, and there has been, as a consequence, a renewed jihad against the West. Wow, okay, disturbing news indeed. Oh my god, we're getting so much here. The Bektashi Order, a Sufi sect of dervishes, has arisen under the leadership of a certain Haji Baktash Wali, a mystic from Khorasan. Striving for unity of being, they train the soul through meditation and contemplation of the inner meaning of the Quran. Wow. All right then, something else to deal with. It's worth remembering, as I was saying, that this is not an abstracted, gameplay element. When there is a crusade banner hanging up here, I actually have to raise an army in the conventional way, put them on ships, and then sail all the way down, round, into the Mediterranean, or march overland for all of that. And we can actually go down here, and we'll see here the very weird prospect. Let me zoom out just a little so you can see it more clearly, of Pisa owning Jerusalem and the surrounding lands. Very odd. Very odd indeed. We could someday see the glory that is a Scottish Jerusalem, or a Scottish Byzantine Empire, or, well, I definitely have my eye on Norway for now. But first we are going to have to unify our people, and we're a long way from that happening. So, let's push on. I would really like to see... Now, I think is it legalism? This is the research menu. I believe that legalism... I guess not. I thought it was legalism, but I'm getting a strange lack of anything there. Oh no, there's definitely, this is related to how many, the size of your possible domain, which I'm struggling with right now. But all is well. We're going to continue to let these rebellions play out. And then when the time is right, we'll restore Scotland, or begin the long process of restoring Scotland to its former glory. Or at least, good God, put it back in one piece. A moment of ominous silence and inaction as the days tick by, as we close out the year 1081, Jamie, now at the age of 40, resolved to rescue his homeland. still hedonistic, which is, that's fine, I guess. Oh, we could do with winning over the bishops here, but we're doing what we can. Long, slow war. The king apparently has no troops in the field, because Duff is very happily just hanging out in Gary, though it doesn't seem that he's actually besieging, because he too is lacking the troops. Though, are these? Oh, these are the king's troops. The army of Prince Donald is just running around. They only have 145 troops there. Wow, now. What have we here? Donald Dunkeld, King Donald III of Scotland, has requested that I be his chancellor, and I am going to decline once again, buddy. I'm also somewhat confused. Oh no, I guess it was always Donald III. Oh, he shaved his mustache. This is... Oh no! King Duncan II was the previous king, and he is now dead. He died after a period of illness. Oh, just 2 short months ago. How is it that my notifications don't warn me when the king dies? But there he is. He is now dead, along with his brother Malcolm, who died in battle against Malmor of the Scottish Revolt back then in 1080, 2 years ago now. Wow, this family is going through a tough time. King Donald, my opinion of Donald, if anything, is even lower than my opinion of his brother. So no, I think I'm going to decline your kind offer. And I think, in fact, that this is the last stroke. I think at this time, I'm going to demand the installation of the claimant. Oh, wait, we have an interruption first. Stuart Lennon wants to hire ruffians to bully the peasants who are not paying their taxes. Wow, so I can gain a small amount of money, but it increases the local revolt risk. Or I prevent him from doing so, and it apparently has no other consequences. I think I'm going to prevent him from doing so. Your support of Duke Jamie of Moray is shocking. Is it? Is it? Because I am Duke Jamie of Moray. Well, oh my goodness, and then I should have read the next line. He's actually resigned. King Donald has given up without a fight, and Duke Jamie of Moray gains the Kingdom of Scotland peaceably. Alright, so now we... I didn't expect that to happen. Alright, well, now we have another situation. King Jamie of Scotland has usurped the title, the Kingdom of Scotland, from Duke Donald of Albany. I have now fulfilled my ambition to become King of Scotland, which, I mean, I feel like I only had that ambition for like 5 minutes. That's amazing. My prestige has skyrocketed now. 2121, that's insane. King Jamie of Scotland. Well now, don't we have some things to do? The first thing that we're going to do, of course, is pick a new ambition. Because just because you're now the king doesn't mean that you should slack off. We're going to go back to improving our learning. That's the thing we're going to do. We are also, though, going to raise our troops. Because this damnable rebellion... Oh, wait, we're going to... Okay. Oh, no, we lost some. That went badly. I wasn't paying attention, and I accidentally raised troops in areas occupied by rebel forces, which is always a mistake. You can hold a button to prevent that from happening, and I didn't, because I didn't realize that I would be raising troops in Gary now. But that's fine. We're going to make this happen. Here we are. 4,008 men under the banner of a united Scotland, taking the war to the rebel forces. Who are now fleeing, of course, having given up their non-siege there in Gary. Alright, we have spanked them in the first place. Now they're fleeing to Buchan, and we will pursue. Yes, we absolutely have to. There is going to be a long period of consolidation at the end of this. Prince Donald of the Scottish Revolt, you are going to have to be put down too. If you can stop moving for long enough. Oh, and Duke Jamie, King Jamie, now leading his own men into battle. You cannot escape Prince Donald. There we go. Now let me see. Fife is almost defeated, so we'll take this one first, and then we'll go on and reclaim Athol for the crown. So we can see here, too, that Donald Dunkeld, formerly King Donald, is now simply the Duke of Albany. We're also owed fealty by Gospatrick Dunbar, the Duke of Lothian. And very soon, Earl Malmer of Athol, and Duff of the Scottish Revolt too. They will be brought back within the fold. I swear it. Wonderful. Stuart Lennon de Inverness just gave me 40 gold. So that's always a nice thing when it happens. That'll fund this war effort just a little longer. Prince Donald has another army he's marching around with. This is no good. You bugger. We'll take out his army and then return and raise the standards of war once again. Although perhaps I could even offer peace at this point. I'd be willing to accept white pieces at this point, particularly because it's just a matter of prestige. Duff of the Scottish Revolt will accept a white piece, and I will take it. And Malmer of the Scottish Revolt will also accept a white piece, and I will take that. Let us end these wars. Stand down our armies. Well now, to the proud wit, Jamie, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your offer of peace. And here we are, with our complete court of vassals. Gospatrick Dunbar, the Duke of Lothian. Donald Dunkeld, the Duke of Albany. Duff of Fife, Malmer of Athol. Those are just earls. They hold only Fife and Athol. And then the individual bishops and mayors of the towns here in the north. A lot of people like me, quite a lot. I crushed a major revolt, so I get a good. Wow, that's really quite impressive, actually. Gospatrick thinks the world of me, which is pretty great. He has the Duchy of Lothian, the County of Lothian, and the County of Dunbar. So he's down here and here. Excellent. Well now, here we are. A unified Scotland, almost, with the exception of the Western Isles here. And Jamie, somewhat surprisingly, pulled off a political coup and became king. Now, we still have some things to... Oh, in fact, I have... Oh, Princess Gaelis needs... She's needing an education, most assuredly. Let's give her to Princess Gruach, I think. She can care for young Gaelis. We have a weak claim still against the county in Wales. I don't think I have any interest in that, so I'll actually just disable that one for now. And the vassal inheritance warning tells me that if Duke Gospatrick of Lothian should die, his title will pass from my realm. Now, that is because I need... Oh, well, now, don't we have some new things here? I haven't reigned for at least 10 years in this, my highest position. So I cannot yet change the law of the land. Though we're now in primogeniture, which simply means that the oldest child inherits the titles. That's great. I must have stepped up to that when I became king. That must be the rule of the land. So now Stephen is my single sole dominant heir. That is a wonderful thing. And do need to take a look at this, though, because I do not want... What is the deal? Oh, his children... Earl Dolphin of Cumberland is now, of course, English because of that War of de Jure conquest. So I will either need to take Cumberland back, or be willing to deal with the consequences. Duke Morcar the Ill Ruler. Interesting. But there we have the man, the legend, King Jamie of Scotland. Next time, I think we'll wrap this up here. Next time, we have some making nice to do. Try and undercut the Duke's tyrannical reputation. We also have to do something about our son. Something's got to be done about our kids. And we will continue. Oh, I have Duff imprisoned. I forgot about that. Let's ransom him out, shall we? For 70 gold? I think I will. Why not get my finances back in balance? I'm not making... Okay, so the situation here is... Oh, I can hold a grand tournament, but that I think can wait until next time. The situation here is that I now have a great deal of power. I have a great deal of money. I have pretty significant troops. Oh, one thing that I should do, though. There is a means, I do believe, of going into... I forget exactly how to do it now, but there's a way of making this my capital. You know what? I will figure that out for next time. I will... Oh, Moray is my capital. That's why I couldn't find the button there. All right, so there we go. Moray is my capital. All is well. This is the Kingdom of Scotland, and we are about to face ever greater foes from without and from within. I hope you'll join me next time for the 4th part of A Highland Fling. Until then, thanks for watching.